Valdosta, Georgia starts today off. Brent is with us. Hi, Brent. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve, man. What's up?
So I'm the founder and CEO of a landscape business down here in South Georgia. We currently employ 47 people. We're projecting to do $6 million in revenue this year. Last year we did $4.5 million with about 10% net profit.
Way to go, stud.
Yeah, and so anyways, we're growing. Our goal is to grow 30% annually. We've done that over the last 3 years, and we're hoping to do that again this year. So my question is, so we are struggling with job costing, operating on a budget, cash flow, and cash flowing asset purchases, growing effectively, and remaining profitable. So my question is, should I hire a CFO and a controller at this phase in my business?
You need to hire a very sophisticated controller or a CFO that's not afraid to get their hands dirty. I don't think you need both.
Okay.
You got a bookkeeper now.
So yeah, I do have a bookkeeper. It's actually my sister who owns a bookkeeping firm, and we contract out all of that.
Okay, then you dump that and hire a controller and a CFO. I'm back with you then. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you had it in-house at this stage. But yeah, I'd bring my bookkeeping in-house, and that's the controller. And the CFO helps to make sure you guys get the software in place. And the CFO needs to have the heart. They're not the corporate goober that bosses everybody around. That's not going to work in your culture. They're going to have to be somebody that comes in and teaches these guys how to job cost and shows them why they want to job cost, because it's going to increase the accuracy of their estimates, and it's going to increase the margins, and it's going to increase their bonuses, so they want to do it. They just don't know that they want to do it. And a good CFO can teach, not just govern. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. And then, investigating and finding software that you never even heard of that they know about, and they help you make a decision to put in place that makes all this stuff work like a hot knife through butter versus some of the heavy lifting y'all are doing now to make these numbers crunch. And then just start building sinking funds for asset replacement, for equipment replacement, because you need to constantly have that as a line item in the budget anyway. But you need to lay out some good life expectancy on the different pieces of machinery, and then that'll layer that into a spreadsheet, and that'll tell you what you need to be saving, because you can tell how often one's going to be dying, and we've got to bring in a replacement, or how often one becomes ineffective because of maintenance, and we need to replace it with and keep moving. And you've got to add equipment to continue this growth too. So you've not only got replacement, but you've got additions, and all of that is basically a savings mechanism.
That's right.
And so, yeah, I could tell you already knew that by the way you asked the question, so I'm just preaching to the choir, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more, I didn't realize I needed to bring in both. My goal was for the CFO to or controller be one person. And
I was thinking that too, but your bookkeeping is still done outside. And I think it's going to be important for everything to be brought inside in order to get these processes smoothed out.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to make your sister-in-law mad, but I just really don't. I think you're way beyond. I mean, you're running a $6 million business. This is not outsourced to the local bookkeeper. It doesn't make sense anymore. It's too complicated. You got too many variables.
Yeah, we're learning that.
Yeah,
we've hit a lot of roadblocks in learning that.
Yeah, I think what you'll find it'd be like you were doing the maintenance on the mowers or something. At the local mower shop instead of having your own guys.
Correct. We have an in-house mechanic already. So yeah,
that's the same. It's the same. It's going to give you the same feel when you do this, and it's just hard to. The positions like we're talking about are not revenue-producing positions; they are cost-saving positions, and they're also peace-giving. It's going to give you peace when some of this stuff is running better than it's running now. So honestly, I think I would look at cutting the budget by the cost of the outsourced bookkeeping and adding a controller that's slightly above bookkeeper status, barely into the edge of controller, and then a solid CFO. You don't want your CFO screwing with keeping books. That's not a good idea. So you got to get that piece covered, and then the CFO can work on these other things we're talking about, which is your sinking fund layers based on equipment life expectancy and replacement and growth curves, and then of course also what we were saying, get ahead of the curve on the job costing and getting those estimates dialed in a little bit better. All of that. You're right on track, man. You're a stud. You're killing it, man. I'm so proud of you. $6.5 million, dude, man. Wow. That's sweet. It's America. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast.